Well, it started in the '83. It was called Collector's Choice, but in the '40s and '50s it was called Stanway Cafe. And this was a little opening where people would order the food, and there were chairs here, and it was a diner. The gentleman that owned it was retiring, and I was one of his customers. I didn't want to see it disappear, and I liked the location, so I bought the business from him and changed the name from Collector's Choice to Frank's TrainShop. I was 5 and I got a train set, and my dad built a board, and I just have pictures of me sitting in there at like 5 running the trains around this little board. Just always had trains, and then when I got older and started getting interested in cars, I didn't really mess with the trains, but after I was probably in my 30s, I still would come up here and buy, trains 2 or 3 times a year, the stuff that would come out, just store it in a box. And I love steam engines, the real steam engines. So I guess since I couldn't have one of those, having a little one was probably the closest thing. The business has sort of changed where, kids nowadays have lots of things to keep them occupied, video games and TVs and remote control cars. But for the most part, it's a mix of children and adults, where it used to just be children. I really like the old stuff from the 30s to the 60s. I like working on it. I like taking it apart and fixing it, and it's fairly easy, and it's challenging at the same time, so it's kind of what I like doing. Well, it's sort of changed from enjoying them as a hobby to trying to make it a business. So it's anytime you do things that you like in a business, not playing with it as much as you're trying to learn, and you can service a customer and make them happy. So I don't get to really run trains for me, it's more for other people. Some of the things in here I've had since I was really young, and then the used stuff came from collections from people that come in and sell it. The new stuff doesn't really mean much, it's just a means to sell in a part of a business. But the old stuff always really has a story. People are bringing things in that they've had since they were little kids. The most common story is people come in and they sort of look at the stuff and they say, oh, I used to have that, and then you hear the story how their mothers threw it away or put it out to the trash man. And I keep waiting for some trash man to walk in here and say he's got every train imaginable. So a lot of things have a really good story behind it. And that, when old things mean something to somebody and you've got 8 or 10 stories of a collection, it means something to me to pass that on to somebody that will really appreciate it.